We are here, the European Union, supporting the political transition of your country. And as you move towards the holding of elections early next year, we stand with you in this work, and we are working with the Bangladesh Election Commission, international and domestic partners on issues that range from voter education to domestic observation. And we have just waved off at the airport a team of experts who were here to assess the advisability and the feasibility of deploying a European Union election observation mission. All of which to say that we are here to try to help ensure that the conduct of the poll will be in line with international standards and free and fair, in short. But how might one measure the success of the transition? The answer is more complex than the holding of elections, of course, and it is linked to the rule of law, respect for fundamental rights, and the adoption of reforms that ensure transparency and accountability. And here is where the central question asked in this research on the role of an upper house in enhancing accountability is absolutely key. So, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome the consensus established in the National Consensus Commission across a range of issues, including the establishment of an upper house. But this is your business. It is not our business. It's not my business. Nevertheless, the point I want to make is that the European Union is and will remain active in terms of support for the implementation of reforms that you decide. And we see in Bangladesh a country that is bucking the trend in terms of avoiding the democratic backsliding that we see taking place in many other parts of the world. Even while there has been no sitting parliament in the past 14 months, therefore, the European Union has maintained its support to the Parliament Secretariat to help reinforce its capacity to ensure that the next legislature will have all the tools required to exercise its oversight and legislative functions and to hold the executive accountable. Indeed, our experience across many European countries that have successfully shifted from autocracy to democracy during my own adult lifetime is that regardless of the system in place, success will ultimately depend on whether core functions are performed well.
বসুন্ধরা টিস্যু অশুদ্ধতার বিরুদ্ধে এক বিন্দুও ছাড় নয়।
Scrutiny of bills, budget oversight, the questioning of the executive, transparency of proceedings, and follow-up of recommendations. I therefore just have 5 practical building blocks to mention that work under any system. The first is stronger committee scrutiny. So we see the importance of empowered parliamentary committees with research support, the means to review draft bills, and the ability to track the implementation of committee recommendations. The second is open and evidence-based lawmaking. We see that adequate public consultation, including written submissions and public hearings, lead to better laws, and that impact assessments are crucial. The third is there has to be credible budget oversight. Budget committees require adequate time and data to examine revenue measures and spending. And in Bangladesh, the Public Accounts Committee must be able to clear the audit backlog and to follow up on recoveries. The fourth is transparency and accountability. We see the importance of responses to parliamentary scrutiny, for example, in reply to committee reports, or the establishment of dashboards that show progress against legislative and policy commitments. Lobbyist registration is important. And the final building block is data, research, and citizen access. We see that investment in parliamentary research services and in open data portals are important so that MPs, media, and citizens can see what the government promised, what was funded, and what was delivered. So, speaking very practically, and I come to the end of my comments, Madam Chair, speaking very practically, what is important more than anything else is that Parliament, research institutions, and civil society are able to partner in the co-creation of a practical agenda for accountable and effective lawmaking. Experience shows the success of adopting a minimum publication window for consultation for draft bills before final passage, requiring regulatory and fiscal notes for significant legislation, ensuring committee secretariats and research bodies are sufficiently resourced to produce evidence briefs, creating a system that tracks government responses to committee reports against delivery and which is public, ensuring budget transparency, citizen budgets, for example, mid-year reviews, end-year reports, and ensuring that those are all up for parliamentary debate, and promoting public access in the form of live-streamed debates, as we have seen so successfully piloted by the National Consensus Commission, in the form of published hearing schedules and submissions, and maintaining searchable records of parliamentary debate. So, I wanted to keep my comments rather distant from your own domestic political situation. Again, it's your business, not mine, but I do want to suggest that a very practical agenda such as I have set up is more than achievable in a country like Bangladesh. It would increase accountability. Most important, citizens would feel the difference in terms of more predictable rules, better policies, and public money delivering public results. Final comment, the European Union stands ready to continue partnering with Bangladesh, with civil society, with government, and with Parliament and the political parties to help you taking forward your important work. Thank you very much.